got something for y'all.
What?
Get out! Trick or treat your ass up out of here. Let's go.
No.
I'm sorry, I can't give it up because then I wouldn't be able to go to a drive-thru and be like,
Yo, can I get a burger and some chips?
and then like walk up to the window and be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you. Mwah.
I'm a potato.
You're a tomato.
Potato?
No.
I thought I said I was a potato.
No, you're a tomato.
No.
What are you?
I was a potato.
What are you,
I was
though?
a potato.
But what are you?
She looks like a
Tomato.
Tomato.
Y'all, I passed over the phone today. I had to call a stranger for something which, first off, ew, but she called me ma'am. She called me ma'am during the phone call, and I am just so happy.
Sup, internet degenerate. We're gonna look at my boy photos because your girl was a boy. So here I look like a Walmart fucking Velma from Scooby-Doo. And here I'm obviously trying to be masculine, but it's not working. Kill it. Kill it now.
I'm not crazy about using the term TERFs, which, if you don't know, stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. Basically, these are just people who don't accept trans women as women, and they say they're feminists. Whatever. So instead of using that term, might I humbly suggest instead we use Karens United to nullify the transgender sex instead.
Just in case anybody actually thinks that I'm a cis woman and not a trans woman, well, first of all, I am definitely a trans woman. Look at my hormones. Estradiol. Spironolactone. I put stickers over my dead name. Yeah, so,
Yeah, I can kind of do this.
and I mean, not to mention, I would not have a trans flag hanging on my wall if I was doing this, like, for attention or something. Not that I'm saying anybody actually thinks that, but just in case there's confusion. I am trans woman. A trans woman.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about detransitioning. In a US study of 28,000 people, only 8% of the sample had ever detransitioned. Of that really small 8% of the overall sample, only 5% of that subset had detransitioned because they realized they were in fact cisgender. The other 95% of people who had detransitioned at some point still identified as trans or gender diverse, and had detransitioned because of reasons to do with pressure from society, friends, family, and partners. That means that of the 28,000 people involved in the study, only 0.4% of the overall sample had detransitioned because they realized that they weren't trans. Here's the citation to the study so you can go and read it for yourself.
Alright, a lot of you guys asked, so I'll now be naming a couple dog whistles used by TERFs. First, what is a TERF? A TERF, or a trans-exclusionary radical feminist, is someone who believes that trans people do not need to be included in their feminism. They often portray trans women as predatory men who are trying to sneak their way into women's spaces, and trans men as victims of the patriarchy who hate themselves and their gender. You can identify them by looking for these dog whistles. Keep in mind that if one person does one or two of these, it doesn't automatically mean they're a TERF. Always use your own judgment. Number one, if they call themselves a rad femme or have radical in their name. If they refer to themselves as gender critical. If they prefer to say LGB community as opposed to LGBT or LGBTQ community. If they refer to trans activists as TRAs. If they use the phrases lesbian not queer or sex not gender. If they use the terms TIM or TIF instead of FTM or MTF. They use the phrase women born women. Use the terms trans cult or lib femme. Bye, that's all I can fit.
Hey, what's up? My name is Devin, and this is Transvocal, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the larynx and how it can affect the sound of your voice.
So your questions are probably, what is the larynx? Where is it located? And what role does it play in changing your voice? The larynx is essentially just your voice box, and it's comprised of the epiglottis, the true folds, and the false folds, all of which play a very crucial role in the sound of your voice.
So how do I alter my larynx?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
So the larynx is connected to the Adam's apple. Everybody has an Adam's apple, don't start. So an exercise I'm gonna give you is looking into a mirror and turning your head to the side and up, and then just swallowing. As you can see, my larynx moved up. So getting used to the feeling of your larynx moving will help you to master your voice so much faster.
10-finger challenge, lesbian edition. Wait. Put a finger down if you've ever crushed on your best friend. Put a finger down if you've come out. Put a finger down if you ever got a drastic haircut. Put a finger down if someone has assumed you were a boy. Put a finger down if you had a weird relationship with the color pink. Put a finger down if you avoided girly things growing up. Put a finger down if you've ever thought about moving to a cottage in the woods with your wife. Put a finger down if you ever had an unhealthy obsession with a female cartoon character. Put a finger down if you've ever bought Doc Martens. Put a finger down if you grew up a tomboy. Put a finger down if you've ever referred to yourself as not like other girls. Put a finger down if guys are really creepy to you because you're a lesbian. Put a finger down if you've ever had trouble identifying as a lesbian.
This is how every single discussion I've had with a more conservative-leaning person about trans people has ever gone. I'm not going to lie to someone. You're either born a male or you're born a female. You can't change your chromosomes. Yeah, you're right. I'm right. Yeah, I am right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of why they're transgender. Their biological sex does not match the gender that they are in their brain, and there's been science to prove that. Well, I just don't understand that at all. And you know what? Honestly, that's okay. You don't have to understand. However, if you meet someone who is clearly female presenting, wants to be called she, her, and Jenna, are you not going to do it? Well, of course I am. I'm not an a-hole. Well, I mean, that's all trans people want. They don't want you to say, you have to agree that I'm biologically female. They're just asking you to respect their pronouns and the name they want to be called. Huh. Well, okay.